Hello everybody, how are you doing this evening? I'm doing pretty fine. The kids are just in bed. I think I need to schedule this this kind of thing later because it's getting really tight nowadays. So let me do that for the next time. I'm still setting up, so please bear with me. The settings look quite bright, if you ask me. Hopefully my camera will do a better job eventually. Let me know, how are you all doing? Let's see, today we're going to look at some amazing stuff. At least I think it's amazing. Let's see. We're going to look at the some news from Greenshift. Let's see. I want to clear some things up about Beep and Claritee, the Reloom alternative we looked at last week. And today I love to take a look at the future or the possible future of Greenshift. I've been searching for a tool to export the Figma file to another thing like any WordPress kind of thing, and I find something that has a way to export, let's see, to Elementor. So let's see how that works, and maybe we can get a kind of glimpse on how the future of the Greenshift export version will be. So yeah, I'm very curious how it will go. I'm still trying to log in. There we go. Sometimes you just get lost in the amount of credentials you have, and I really don't know how to log in. Let's see. There we have that one. And then we need to go here. So that's done. I don't want to see you, make you see my credentials, so that's why I'm not sharing my screen just yet. Already trying to log in. See. And I see that this isn't working. That is working. And there were some things in the Greenshift community just shared, so just want to share that as well. One moment. I think I will, for the next time, I will do WordPress 8 starting these kind of things, because it's just not happening at the right time. Too much preparation, which kind of bores you perhaps. So let's see. There's a thing. There's a thing. And did I even add more? Let's see. Perhaps one that I forgot. But I don't think so. So bear with me just a moment. This one as well. This one also. And that one is from 6 days ago. That's a clip. Block logic. Yeah, that's something we already discussed. So finally, let's get to it. The setup is done and we have managed to talk about everything, set up everything at least. So let's get to the first thing I would like to share. So the first thing I would like to share, there's a coupon code going on for a discount. It doesn't mention how much the discount is for the coupon, but at least you get a discount, and you have you can use Spring as a coupon code, and you will get a discount. You need to figure out how much it is, and it will work for 10 days since posting. So the 24th of March, it will expire, I guess. See, you don't see my face, so let's put my face on there as well. Hello, how are you doing? And I also like that Igor shared what their plans are for next upcoming month. They plan to create new FSE single product templates to 10, the total amount. So does that mean that they are adding 10 single product templates? I guess so. One new fancy elements tutorial, so I'm very curious how it will look, with a very popular effect. Ooh, spicy. What effect could it be? Could it be the text transition you see nowadays? Or a mouse follow hover effect, or the gradients? I'm very curious. And 3 new homepage templates. I like that one already. I hope they will integrate very well with either the style book or the theme colors. That would be nice. And finally, we start open access to the Figma to WordPress plugin. Currently it's steady. Now we're polishing. Oh, I'm very and this one I'm very enthusiastic about. I don't know how you say. Very excited. I think that's the best word. And today I want to look at a kind of preview from a competitor that you can export the Figma file to Elementor, so that we get some kind of feeling on how it could work. I played a little bit with it last week, and it did work, but I didn't do it properly, so we'll get into it later on. They are now, at this moment, they are polishing the stuff, and they have some doubts about a few things regarding which blocks to use in the converter. Regular, element block, and which one to use for the layout wrapper, CSS grid or row. Maybe we'll do separate posts to ask. So, if you don't know, they added a new block called element block, and the element block makes it possible for you to select what kind of element will be used, and you can then also define what kind of what can be put inside of the element. So for instance, you can select a tag of section, and then you can put in HTML, some text, leave it empty, or add a block. And it's a very visual native feeling of building a website. So I like this version a lot. But I can also see that you want to use the regular blocks more, because I guess most of the people will want to use this one. And it's also in a very weird state that there are 2 kinds of blocks that do about the same thing. So I wonder which they will choose, but I think I would suggest the regular one. And for the layout wrapper, CSS grid or row, if CSS grid is done properly, that has my that's something I would like. But I can see that row is maybe easier to use, because nowadays most tools use Flexbox. But yeah, can be either way, right? Maybe row is more flexible, and that's also used by the tool we're gonna take a look at later on. The second thing I would like to look at is a feature that they released on the 14th March, or maybe later, you can copy a style and then you can paste it in as well, but you can select which style will be copied into the block. So you can define and select for each style what needs to be in there. And it's really amazing if you want to have a few options available in the other section as well instead of everything. So that's what they made, and it will save a lot of time. Next, there was a little challenge from Igor today, where he asked, how would you create this? So, as you can see, the call to action is on the right side, and and here's some heading. And when you go to mobile mode, it gets filled into the heading. And he asked, how would you solve this? About 4 hours ago. And I wanted to tackle this, but he already gave an answer. And but I think it's a very good one that he explains why. So he says you should use position absolute to work as a column for a unknown size area. Simply put, 100% is a value. So that's how he called it in there. And it has a lot of interesting features. If you don't set value of position, it works as a regular block. And at the time, it's absolute, so it's out of flow. So it will be automatically flowing back and forth if you set the position absolute. Be in the center of the parent block. Simply enable a position absolute, but don't add left top. Instead of this, put the block in a flex box with a line which you need. So the solution is a position, absolute position with variable left value on mobile position will be set as static. So yeah, smart way of doing this. It's funny that he asks the questions and 3 hours later he provides the answer. But it's a nice thing. Maybe you should do some community challenges. It will be very engaging as well. That we understand how some of his code works and how he thought about it. You need to calculate orders, calculate CSS grid templates properties, and that sort of things. I was thinking you would solve it in a CSS grid or a flex box and then have a margin bottom. But then the block will grow, so the absolute position is actually a very good solution, I guess. Something different like art. Yeah, this was his challenge. So the next thing I would like to look at was a tool I looked at last week, and it's called Beep. And one of my remarks is that they don't have anything working well for clients and looks more like an agency. If you don't know what Beep is a feedback tool. Let's see if I can enable it again. Beep, there we go. And yeah, you can beep stuff, which means you click and then you click on the website. Maybe we need to refresh this before it works, or you can press Alt-C. You click on something and say this. So this is nice. And you save it. And then a beep has been added. And a beep gives you a screenshot. You can locate on where it is, and you can see what the comment is. So it is for collecting feedback. And my remark was, well, this can't be used for clients because when you look in their portal, it wasn't available there. And what they said is, we'll sign up, we'll save these emails, and that they are going to implement some kind of way to, let's see, when you create the clients. So yes, you can use it to pinpoint to those things. use different clients. Once you finish client, you can unassign. And here they plan to incorporate a client user role and more a advanced guest mode. So in the future, there will be an option to have your clients give some feedback instead of that it is only available for your team. I can feedback. So that will be a very nice add-on. And let's see, you can go to open all. And here you see your beep labs. Oh, I don't know how I got in. Oh, there's the dashboard. Just look a little bit further and you're there. So they are going to implement something that can be used to also have a more advanced guest mode where the clients can leave feedbacks, and instead of providing them to a team, they can just use it as guests. So that will be very fun and nice. I guess the dashboard isn't working now. That's fine. So still, if you would like to have a customer or client feedback tool, that is very nice, and I like this one very much. Let's see, I really would like to show it, but if it's not working, it's not working, right? Open dashboard. I guess my storage data not set properly. No, I don't know what's wrong. Something happened. Let's keep it at that. But yeah, so you know, that was the update I wanted to share about Beep. So they are going to implement something that would work for client feedback. The next thing was Claritee. Claritee, if you were here last week, is a... At AppSumo, they said they are more like a... what's it called? Canva and Figma alternative and a Wix alternative. I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, if we look at their... What you can do is that you can click plus and then site mapping, and you want AI assistant to help. I want a business website or I don't know, or the agency. Let's do an agency website. Agency website that builds what's called websites. And let's add a automatic layout as well. So what it does is create a sitemap, and one of the remarks I had is that the layout isn't made. So here we have a sitemap, about us, services. What does chatbot development? I mean, their AI tool, although great, they sometimes add services that I don't think is something that really is good. But yeah, you can remove them easy, so it's fine. It's not as good as Reloom, because I would say that this is more like a Reloom alternative. And as you can see, sometimes something is going wrong. You have here contact us, and here you have contact us, and there's a blog, and here's a blog as well. So I think the automatic creation needs to be improved. Let's see if we do it like this. Agency website that creates websites, and if we don't check layout sections, then you get still the broken sitemap. So that's nice. AI assistant, but there's nothing in here. And you can populate it by using AI, generate sections. And here it's already filled in. And what you can do is view it, or enter a section or a page, I should say. When you enter, you see these kinds of things, placeholders. And I was like, well, the layout doesn't look good, and it would be nice if you can how to create a layout. And that's what they're planning. They're planning to have a AI auto wireframe kind of thing. I hope it works better than the sitemap tool, because that one is not very good at this point in time. Lots of duplicate things, and some things doesn't make sense. Oh, sorry. And so I hope it will be better than the AI thingy here. And they also will be adding a WordPress plugin with Gutenberg. It was planned 4 months ago, or added 4 months ago. So I'm very curious how this will work. But that will be amazing. That will be the most interesting things to me. I'm still wondering if this is the best thing to have, considering the tool doesn't feel like it is very good at this point in time. It can speed up your sitemap creation, but as we can dive in later as well, I mean, I can show where I'm working on. I'm working on my defining my workflow that I am using. So here we go. And if I go to sitemap, I just have a list view here for the sitemap, and you can put in as well everything in there as well, and it's very easy to use. So the only thing it would be nice is that you click on the page and that it will automatically generate a frame and do all sorts of stuff, but yeah, that's not the case right now. So it is good. I don't know if it is well enough for the price at this time, and the price at this time is $100, which I think is a lot for a tool that feels very beta-ish, at least on the AI part. I mean, the rest works pretty well. So you can easily change the name, hello, and you can even add some more sections, or you can even do more stuff. It doesn't say what it does. Oh, that's the next part of the wireframe. Oh, here's the plus button. And then you can add new sections, so you can lay out it pretty well, but I think the list thingy works better. So let's close the Claritee stuff, because that's something we covered last week. And now let's get into UIChemy. So as I stated last week, I was just looking around, minding my own business, and then I found this one, UIChemy, and it converts Figma files to design for WordPress. In this case, it says Elementor and Gutenberg, but Gutenberg isn't available yet. Elementor is available, and that's the one I tried. They also said somewhere that Bricks will be available soon, but when I looked already, UIChemy, here's a Bricks version. So I am curious, does it work? But I don't have Bricks, so I can't test it. And this was the design, the thing I wanted to test. Let's see. It was a pre-made Figma file, and I wanted to look what kind of hero section could we recreate? Sorry. Just to get a feeling on how this works. So let's zoom in a little. Unfortunately, there's no one actually watching at this moment in time, so I can't ask the chat for some ideas on which one I should use, or try, but I tried this one. So let's duplicate it, put it in here. And there is a little bit of a caveat because you need to understand how you can transform it. Let's see, where's the documentation? Help desk. There was a nice Figma file with all the information you need to understand what's actually needed. Would be nice that the that page is available here. I know I haven't used Figma a lot, so I don't know. Ah, there we have it. Okay, this one. So here are some design guidelines. What do we need to do to get things working? So before you start, you need to create any design. You always need to auto layout in the main parent. And it needs to be columns centered. The page width needs to be fixed, or the alignment options. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of experience yet with Figma, but I guess this is how it sizes, and this is the width of the page. And in there you should add container. So here you see how it would look. And this is the build up for an example page they put in here. So you have a page, a container, and in the container there's a section text. It has a top, it has a paragraph, a button group. So I guess this is the paragraph, and this may be the top, and then an image within a container. So it's basically deconstructing how eventually the Flexbox will be looking. And here they go further in what will happen if you use a mask, but it's not locked. It will output a weird kind of mask. But if you do properly by adding a lock, it will be properly masked. So you have to lock the mask group. I'm really curious as to why, because you will see this kind of interface that needs to happen quite a lot. Putting things at the top level. Hello there, other cursor. You are live. Putting things at the top level other than containers will be ignored. Instead, place it inside a container. So if it's within the page, this section will be ignored. But if it's not in the page, but in a container, it can be outputted. So it will not be ignored. And as you can see, it will be copied to the file. So there's some things you need to know, as you can see. And the one that I found very helpful was the steps you need to do to go from a component. Where is it? I thought there were some steps on what you need to make. And the beautiful thing is that this starts free, so you can use it for free at no costs. And then you have some Elementor, you can have 10 design exports, so you can just try this out if you would like to. And there's a limited sale going on. They say it's limited for the first 500, but my experience is not really 500, but a set time before it expires, and you can buy it now for $200, which in my opinion is not a lot of money. And seeing they already have a bricks conversion and an Elementor conversion, that is very nice. So let's have a look how this works. Where's the page? They had some nice example on the steps you need to take to convert a page to another one. I don't see it at the moment. So let's get back to our other Figma file and let's get export to WP. Let's just try it out, shall we? I hope the images will load. Hello, Figma. Come on. What is this craziness? First time happening. All right, well, I'll leave it as is. Ah, there it is. So what I have learned from before is that you should put everything in auto layout. So let's select the block, and this one needs to be fixed. And there's a auto layout, needs to be centered and top. There can't be any negative positions, so it needs to be 0. For the page, this one is fixed, and this one needs to hug contents. So that's correct. Then what they actually suggest is starting from the tiniest sections. So let's do that first, right? So if we think in blocks, you will have here a section. Let's remove the fill. Now, I'm not very used to using Figma, so bear with me. At work we use Adobe XD, which I really like. So here we go. This is our first section, but as we can see, it's already text, so that will be fine. So the next thing in the flexbox would be something like those two together, but there needs to be a negative margin. So should it be one complete thing because it's just image, and then put in the lock thingy. Let's see, explore. Why can't I select total locked? We can group those, and then I think we need to lock them. So these are already grouped. That looks fine, even with the background. And I guess these needs to be grouped. This needs to be a separate one. And then there is, and this one needs to have a lock, and we can select content. They need to be locked later on, I guess, because those need to be grouped as well, because this is one column. This is a column. And this is a column. So this is a column. And you need to always set an auto layout. So let's add that auto layout. That looks fine. And then we have 3 columns, and they need to be grouped together as well. And then we can set it also as auto layout. As you can see, you need to do some changes because this is also the way these sections are going to be exported. We'll see that in a bit. So for this group, I want it to be locked. And for this frame, I want this one to be locked. Now, if we select this one, and we go to our UIChemy, and we convert it to Elementor, are you sure that here you have the guidelines and the tips and tricks? So they only show you when you press the button. It would be nice if it's already visible before that. You can find actually what you need to do and how you need to do it. Let's see. Objects and auto layout. No, I really can't find. But yeah, so what I just checked is, yeah, I do know everything is fine. And then we convert to Elementor. Now there's an option to do the live import. And you can fill in your URL and token, and then we'll automatically export to your WordPress website. So let's see how we can set this up. Need to add a plugin. So let's install a plugin. UIChemy, let's search for it. In the future it will work with Gutenberg as well, and now it's working with Elementor and Bricks. If you have Bricks and you're in the chat watching or want me to explore if it works, set me up with a experimental kind of thing that I can see if it works well with Bricks as well. So let's see. We need to generate a security token. So I'm going to put this off screen before somebody does some funny things. And let's see. Then we can go back to here. So the URL I can copy here. So it's not secured, so I'll put in my security token. Just one sec. URL unreachable. It seems like it doesn't work for me right now. So we can't use the live import. I can ask them if it works or not, and why it doesn't work right now. Elementor Figma plugin. Yeah, that's for Figma. Oh. Let's give it one more try so that we can figure out if we can convert. Let's do it like this and then run again. Convert to Elementor. Live import. Copy my URL. I copy security token. I like the connecting experience, but unfortunately it doesn't work. But they have a solution for that. If it doesn't work, you can just download the JSON. So that's what we do now. We download JSON, and JSON file is now on my desktop. And if I go back to my WordPress website, we can go to, let's see, templates. And then we can import template and just already added once. Let's remove that one and import templates. And import now. Are you sure? Let me press continue. So now it's importing the template from Figma. And there we go. Have a look how it looks. And there's our design. Let me reset a little bit. Well, it looks it's all in there, right? And it also has 3 columns. So that's working actually pretty nice. As I thought, when you lock something, it will generate an image out of it. So, and here are all the images in there as well. And even the separate images are available. So that's a really nice experience, if you ask me. Now let's change the layout a little bit, because I think this doesn't look really good. And we can solve that by changing the canvas. So that's more to my liking. Full width, max content. So they already said some kind of things that we need. And here we have everything in there. There's our gradient background with the content section. Perhaps we should. So as you can see, there are some things that can be improved, right? I mean, this one is not looking very good. And here we have full width, and here it says max content. And if we set it to 100%, now it fills at least the screen. And I see there's something going on in the second container. So it's not perfect, but if you ask me, it's already a lot better than trying to develop it yourself. Let's see what's going on in this one. It is being cut off by the export. So it could be an issue with something else. So it's not a really very that's why it's cut off. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. So for this design, and everything is, here's a title, there's a title, it should be actually a text, a title used there as well, a title there as well. And what is this? This is heading. Now also note that this isn't the perfect thing. I probably forget to make this a button. You can set up that which element needs to be used when using UIChemy, but you get a general feel of how this would work, right? And if we take a look at the export thingy again and see if we can recreate a simpler design. This one looks quite simple. Or is there one that's even more easy? This one is very easy. Come on. I want to go in there. I want to select the first one. And then just copy and paste it right here. And then I would like to change some things. Oh, it looks like that one is already good. The image list is a frame within a frame. This is already export ready. So we only need to set, let's see, an auto layout to center. And then this one needs to be fixed with, and that one needs to hug. And then we can, again, try to export it. Convert to Elementor, download the Json. And go back to our templates again. Exit. Let's see here all the templates. Import. Import now. And if we added that one with Elementor, how will it look? That's a lot better, actually. They put everything nicely in a container and frames. You can also rename them, which makes it easier to understand how they are called. I do think there's something weird going on. So let's make this 100%. And it's because of our template selection. So you need to change a few things before it really works. But I think the overall experience is quite fast, actually. That's pretty nice. In one frame. You can also do without the extra containers. And in this frame, you have to sideways. Oh. 100%. Yeah, so there can be some optimizing, but if I did it correctly in Figma, it probably would work better. But yeah, everything is in there. Every piece of the section is in there. We can select them, we can edit them. I think there's some optimization from my part that I need to set that this is a button, and it's good. I think it's good. So if this would be the experience exporting from Figma to GreenShift, and there's some little tweaking that needs to be done afterwards, I'm actually pretty fine with that. So this is nice. I would like to know, would you consider this tool to be something you would like to have as well, or would you wait just a little bit for the fine-tuning that there's maybe a second version of this before you invest time to explore to see how it works? Let me know in the comments down below. We can set some kind of minus margin to the left and right to make it look even more like the design we had. Damn it. So this looks a lot more, this image. Confivex, what I do like is that they give an option on what you would like to import. Would you like to use the whole section or the separate images? And if you want to use the separate images, you can position them yourself. So quite possibly that's something that I would choose, so that you have more control on where the elements on the page are, and perhaps change them later on as well. But yeah, if you ask me, it's quite a good experience, and I hope that Elementor does that GreenShift does a way better job than this. But now you have some kind of an idea on how this could work and could look. The last thing I would like to take a look at is something that I've been working on. Let's first update this. And some kind of style guide that could be used by you to just have some kind of basic way of creating a wireframe. And what I saw today is that Igor is already in conversation with Brandon. Let's see. We can set it to new posts. And he is in Brendan, and he is in discussion with Igor about the framework project. So I'm very curious, and he's using Cube CSS. I never heard of it. Let's take a look. What's Cube CSS? CSS methodology that's oriented towards simplicity, composition, utility block, exception. Wow. So it's like a alternative for a BAM method, I guess. Composition, utility, block, exception, or are those the CSS classes used? How does Cube compare to other methodologies? Inspiration from BAM. Good way to look a step back from BAM's principles. This is because the core BAM is blocks, whereas the Cube CSS is the core is CSS. There's a cascading of it. Oh, that's nice. So I guess I'm creating this style guide for nothing, because someone else is already working on it and is working in for a project for Igor. So yeah, I'm going to stop further developing this greenshift style, and we'll be waiting on how this will turn out, that I can play around with it. And here they have already this components library. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for it. I'm very curious how it will turn out. And that will be it. So that's actually it for what I've planned today for this stream. So that's what I had planned for today for this stream. You have now some kind of idea how you can export a Figma file to Elementor, and we have seen that it doesn't really work very well, but it's better than trying to recreate everything yourself. Though setting up the Figma file needs a little bit of a know-how. Luckily, there is some documentation available. It would be nice that it would be shown sooner, but it makes your life easier, if you ask me. It's way faster than trying to drag everything in yourself. It's just optimizing the code it provides. Or code, I mean the elements it puts in there. Yeah, UIChemy is a very nice tool, and I can't wait for Greenshift just to release it, because I'm hoping it's so much better and so very good, and optimizes the way of working. So very curious how that will work, and we will see that in another time. So that's it for this stream, and I hope you have a nice day and keep designing.